There is a campaign to stop prison sentences for pregnant offenders, and here's why. They're more likely to go into premature labour, and when they ask for help, they say it comes too slowly.
Some women had to give birth on the way to hospital or even alone in their cells. And sadly, there are babies that don't make it. Well, Natalie Horkera has been hearing the experiences of women who gave birth in prison.
I was scared, I was worried. I didn't know if I was going to be able to keep my son, if I was going to have to give my son up.
6 months pregnant, on remand and about to give birth in prison. Anna is one of around 600 pregnant women that get sent to prison each year in the UK.
It's not a safe place for a pregnant woman to be. And the fact that there's so many women that are in there that are on remand and they don't even need to be in there, they're non-violent offences, they're not a threat to the community and they're locked behind bars, missing out on the healthcare and everything else that they need.
Campaign groups want alternatives to incarceration. They say mothers held in custody during pregnancy face serious health risks.
I don't think we're arguing that women who are a very significant risk to the public should be exempted from serving their sentences potentially in secure units of some sort. But the number of women that fall into that category is absolutely tiny.
During Anna's final trimester, she said she had minimal visits from the midwife. On the day she gave birth, despite announcing she was in labour whilst in her cell, Anna had to wait around 5 hours before she was taken in handcuffs to the hospital. Anna was lucky though. 1 in 10 births happen before a woman can reach hospital. Researchers have found that women in prison are 5 times more likely to have a stillbirth and almost twice as likely to give birth prematurely than in the community. In the last 3 years, 2 babies have died in UK prisons. In 2020, a baby at HMP Style, and in 2019, a baby here at HMP Bronzefield, where a teenage mother, despite calling for medical assistance, gave birth alone in her cell. Deaths of babies born in these circumstances are rare, but the NHS says all pregnancies in prison are high risk. In the past year, 50 babies were born in prisons in England and Wales. The majority of these were in hospital. Campaigners want the system overhauled and an eventual end to sending pregnant women to prison at all.
Women across the board don't tend to commit crimes that make them a very serious threat to the public. What we're talking about is sensible policies for the majority of women who would be better off in the community.
A Ministry of Justice spokesperson told 5 News that since these tragic deaths, we have drastically improved the care pregnant women receive in custody. Every woman's prison has a specialist mother and baby liaison officer. Earlier this month, the Sentencing Council announced plans to review guidance on pregnancy. Birth Companions welcomes this and hopes the consultation will lead to the creation of a separate mitigating factor focused on pregnancy. At least 11 other countries, including Russia, Mexico and Brazil, have banned the imprisonment of pregnant women. Campaigners want the UK to follow suit, putting the welfare of the mother and child first.
Do you believe that you got the care that you needed?
No, not at all. Now in hindsight looking back, because I've had another child in the community and I realise how much more I missed out on, it's made me realise how little that the pregnant women get.
Anna says being pregnant in prison was the worst time in her life and hopes a review of the sentencing guidance will mean one day others won't have to experience what she did.
Well, Natalia joins us now. So we heard there that the ministry is saying that care in custody has got better. What else are they saying?
A spokesperson from the Ministry of Justice told me that custody is already a last resort for women. But since these tragedies, they have overhauled their policy and practice when it comes to caring for pregnant women. Things like putting extra welfare checks and health support in place. But when it comes to ending the imprisonment of pregnant women, well, that's a matter for independent judges and individual cases.
So could there be a chance that putting pregnant women, imprisoning them, that could come to an end?
Well, 2 weeks ago, the Sentencing Council said that it would review its guidelines, but it also said that it would look at whether a creation of a separate mitigating factor focusing on pregnancy could be implemented. If that happens, well, then we might see more community orders or suspended sentences being handed out by judges.
Really interesting report, Natalia. Thank you.